Hi, it's Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, and I'm back with my plans and pans. Well, this has been, I think, probably the hardest 2 weeks that I've experienced as a member of Congress, and actually in many ways as a human being. It's about 2 weeks now that there was this horrendous attack on Israelis by Hamas, and since then, we have seen back and forth, life and death. The people of Gaza, innocent people of Gaza, thousands of them have been killed, and there doesn't, at this moment, seem to be much of good news except for today. We did get incredibly good news that two of the hostages, which I have been following very closely, they're from Evanston, Illinois. They are Judith Raanan and her 18-year-old daughter, Natalie. We have been in contact almost daily with the State Department, hoping to hear some good news. And then good news came that they have been released. The only ones that we're aware of that have been released by Hamas from being in the state of being a hostage. I am hoping so much that this is really the beginning of a hostage release, and maybe even the beginning of a cessation of violence that has been going back and forth. That is my great, great hope. I look forward to talking to members of their family. I look forward to learning more about that experience. So this has been a very hard time. The president made a pretty unprecedented visit to the region. He spoke not only about the attack by Hamas, the president also talked about the need for humanitarian aid. There are 2.3 million people in Gaza, and half of them are children, and they are suffering as well. So I do feel gratified that the message that I sent out to the president and to the Secretary of State over a week ago now, which said that we need to not only condemn the attack by Hamas, but we need to make sure that we do provide, that we do call for humanitarian aid in Gaza. And shortly after that, the president did pretty aggressively talk about that. I'm hoping maybe my words had a little bit to do with that, but in any case, I was very happy to hear that he was also agreeing to humanitarian assistance. That would mean water, electricity, especially water. And right now he is trying to, that is Biden is trying to negotiate a way that more of this aid can get safely into Gaza to help as many people as possible. So it's not over yet. I'm hoping it will be soon. And I'm hoping when that happens that we're going to be able to look at how can we have a long-term peace so that we don't see this conflict over and over again. We need to talk about how we can end the cessation of violence and how we can make sure that there is justice for the Palestinians and security for the Israelis, and live in two states. I'm in favor of a two-state solution where it's two peoples for two states that can live in peace side by side. And of course, tensions have been very high at home too. The death of an innocent 6-year-old, a child, stabbed 26 times, actually by the landlord in his building. His mom was stabbed as well. I pray for her good health because she did survive it. But that 6-year-old boy, because of hatred, is dead. These are the kinds of things that are happening in the world today. And then there was also, for me, a very sad day when a group of people came and basically occupied my office in Skokie and were very adamant in saying that they were going to occupy my office until I changed my positions. These are people who declare themselves to be activists when it comes to justice for Palestinians. I view myself as somebody who believes in that. So in terms of a non-functioning government, it has been 3 full weeks that the United States has not had a Speaker of the House, and therefore we are not able to really do anything at all of substance to help the American people, to pass legislation. Jim Jordan had his 3rd vote to be Speaker of the House, and each time that he ran, fewer people endorsed him for Speaker of the House. You know, my feeling about Jim Jordan is very clear, and so we're going back to Congress next week, and what we're going to see is a number of other individuals who want to put their name out there. But the chaos in the Republican Party right now, the hatred that people seem to have for each other on the Republican side of the aisle. In the meantime, the Democrats, we have been voting time after time after time for our leader, Hakeem Jeffries, who was also nominated for Speaker and every time gets the maximum number of every single Democrat to vote for him. He's already, by the way, achieved more votes to be Speaker of the House than anyone in the history of the United States. That, of course, is because there's been so many votes. So we are still hoping that there can be a bipartisan way out of this, essentially a lockdown of the Congress. And I am hoping that Hakeem will be able to have some success in talking to the Republicans, which he is doing all the time, to see how we are able to get back to work, to serve our constituents, to serve the interests of the American people, and frankly, to make our national security more safe. Because, you know, the whole world is watching. And what they're seeing right now is an ineffectual Congress that cannot function. And that's not good. It's dangerous. And it certainly doesn't help everyday Americans either. So we have a ways to go. And I am hoping to be part of the solution as much as I can and to keep you in close touch with what is actually going on. So feel free to comment to me what you think. I'd be really happy to hear your feelings about these issues. I'll see you next week. Thanks. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where my handle is @Jan Schakowsky.